are the experts, because they're the ones who are dealing with those things day to day, and the things that they've dealt with in their life, that we have dealt with in our lives, is a wealth of knowledge that can help you improve your programs. So, for example, a lot of times when a young person drops out, you know what I mean, or that person is a quote-unquote bad kid, we exclude them, or we may do something that ends up actually contributing to other stressors in their life. But instead of doing that, we could actually learn, well, why didn't you like the program? Why did you drop out of school? Because there's something to be learned there in terms of improving, as well as for the ones that succeed and do well. We need to, in my opinion, it's really, I know everybody talks about qualitative and the numbers, and quantitative stuff and the numbers, and one of the questions, honestly, that I had for Assistant Secretary here of Post-Secondary Education before is like, what are we doing, and honestly, it's something I would pose out to everyone here, to help out the young people who are at the bottom, the people who are struggling the most. What are we doing for young people who are experiencing high levels of violence, who are experiencing trauma? What are we doing for folks in poverty? You know, because we know that when young people are dealing with all these other barriers outside of the classroom, it's affecting the classroom. We know that. You know, like sometimes you may have a student who comes in, he's falling asleep in your class, and there's two things you could probably do. You could be like, man, you keep falling asleep in my class, you're out. Or you could say, hey, let me talk to you real quick, or let me pull you aside after class. Why are you falling asleep in class? What's happening? What's going on at home? Which is a difference. I think that a lot of policies and a lot of educators have more of a deficit-based approach rather than a strength-based or asset-based approach. And in my opinion, and what a lot of what WENTED does is capitalize on the things that normally have been viewed as negative behaviors, the type of stuff that got me in trouble and kicked out of class all the time. And those would be the things that people would say are bad, rather than saying those are actually, there are qualities there, there are some assets there. When I learned how to slang drugs and get money on my own in the street and get creative to help out my family, there are entrepreneurial skills there, business skills there. And you know what, that sounds funny, but it's not, it's a fact. You know, it's a fact, straight up. And like my brother right here gave me one of the most beautiful examples that I'm going to use forever now, which is that he had a young person who used to gangbang, and you know, that was what he was used to. He came out of jail or something, and he's like, all I know how to do is throw up signs. And he said, well, he's like, I don't know what to study, he was saying, but I do want to go to school, but that's all I know how to do, that's all I've done. He said, well, have you ever thought about sign language? And yeah, and he actually did it, and now that's his major. And he's getting into it. And that is a perfect example of an asset strength-based approach to policy making. You can apply that to policy making, you can apply that to practicing as a teacher, as an educator. And I think that that's just beautiful. Another thing that honestly I would say, I'm going to try to keep it brief